Alright, our last trait we're going to look at is convention. So we've kind of been doing this all along, but we're going to look a little bit deeper. We'll be looking at spelling in A, punctuation and capitalization, punctuation in B, capitalization in C, grammar and correct usage in D, paragraphing and phrasing in E, and just kind of overall practices in F. So we're going to look at pieces we've already read, so we'll just kind of look at them quickly and then we'll start to break it down into those 6 sections. So the first piece is remembering our flag, which we just looked at in sentence fluency. So the spelling in this is generally correct, even on the more difficult words, which is great. They have a little work to do, but not very much with the spelling. When we look at punctuation, there is a few minor exceptions. The punctuation is creative and shows some skill, so they're not following traditional rules all the time, but that's part of the style. When we look at C, the capitalization, capitals are used where they are supposed to be used, so definitely a 5 in that area. When we look at grammar, there is no problems there. We can see the 3 well-developed paragraphs. The reader might want to think and tinker with it a little bit, but overall it's great. And there was risk taken, and the result works really well. So this writer would be in the 5 category for convention. When we look at the second piece, Aunt Lisa. So first we look at spelling. You can just kind of see when you briefly glance at it, there's a lot of spelling issues. There's 24 or more mistakes. That's a lot. Although many mistakes are in words that are very fine choices for this piece, there's not just routine, everyday words. This writer has really shown a weakness in spelling, which is something easy to fix and easy to work on. B, punctuation. Mostly present in the obvious places. The writer even tries to use quotation marks, which was a really good try. This piece is stronger than a 1 in punctuation. So it's not a 1, but it's not quite a 3. When we look at capitalization, it's kind of random. There are capitals used at the beginning of most of the sentence and a few misses here and there, but it's generally better than a 1. So again, this would kind of be a 2 for capitalization. When we look at grammar, the grammar works well, especially when you read the piece aloud. This piece should be scored higher than a 1 in grammar. So it would be like a 2, maybe even a 3 for the grammar. Paragraphing, so there's not really any paragraphs present. There are at least 1, if not 2, natural places where we could put in a paragraph. So this is definitely an area the writer needs to work on. And F. Depending on who is reading the paper, the reader may have to decode and try to find the meaning. For someone inexperienced in reading papers by young writers, the spelling may be so distracting that they will have a hard time. So this is a tough call. The descriptor of 1 is really true, but it could be a 2. So overall in the rubric, they're kind of right in the middle of this line, somewhere 3, somewhere 1, so it kind of averages out as a 2. And our last piece, what are the qualities of a good teacher? So this is when we looked at way at the beginning of the year. So when we look at this A, spelling, there's only 1 careless mistake, but an expanded vocabulary is not present. We know this writer can handle basic vocabulary, but what about the harder, more challenging words? This is pretty much a match for the 3. B, the end punctuation is usually correct. Internal punctuation, such as commas and colons, is sometimes missing or wrong. So commas are really hard. So commas are an area this writer could work on. So definitely a 3 for that. Most words are capitalized correctly. Control over more sophisticated capitalization skills may be spotty. So there's only 1 simple mistake in the capitalization, so this is really a 3, maybe even a 4 in that category. When we look at the grammar, there's only 1 place where the grammar is not really making sense, and it's where the author adds an unnecessary S to the end of the word thing. It may be more of an oops than anything else. The rest of the piece reads fine for grammar, so a 3 and a 4 again for that. paragraphing, we can see the 4 developed paragraphs, and that really shows that it would be more than a 3, probably a 4. And F. Moderate editing would be required to polish the text for publication. About 5 seconds of editing is really all that's needed here. So great, a 3, almost a 4 here. So that's the 3 pieces. We will be using the conventions rubric soon, and you guys have kind of been doing it all year, so keep up the great work. Thanks!